Hi guys, Steph here. Now what we've got for you today, you can see from the case there, this is a Parker, well we assume it's a pen. I recently came across this particular set, so I thought, although I've actually shown you a similar pen, I thought this one was actually worthy of a video. Plus I've not done one for a while and I've got a little bit of time, so here we go. So what we've got is a Parker set here, and if you open the case you can see it's got this silk line to the back with a Parker insignia to the top there. And again, what you people may recognise, some of you will, what we've got is a lovely fountain pen and a ballpoint pen. And what we'll actually do, let's take them out of the case first of all, pop the case to one side, and well, again, some of you will recognise them. What we've got is a beautiful set of Parker 75 fountain pen and ballpoint in this, well, sterling silver. Some people call it the Cisele, but as you'll see in a moment, these are the American made Parkers, so I believe they call them the grid pattern. So let's show you the grid pattern there. Okay, so we've got a Parker 75 set in this grid pattern, as we'll show you again in a moment, made in USA with gold plated, or yeah, gold plated trim to the clips there, like so. Now, well, first of all, because I'm a fountain pen, let's show you briefly the ballpoint. The ballpoint is actually a cap activated ballpoint, like so. You'll notice, as you'll see in a moment with the fountain pen, it's got the flat top or the flat tassie to the end there. As we said, it's got this gold plated clip. Let's just show you the imprint. Let's keep it nice and still. What you'll see, it says Parker, sterling silver. I think it says made in USA then. And we've got the Parker halo and arrow logo to the right there as well. Okay, so as I said, this is the ballpoint in full working order, as we'll show you in a moment. So we've got the ballpoint, and what we've got is the fountain pen. Once again, we've got this lovely, quite a long gold plated clip there, and to the top there you can see it's got the flat top to the top, and also applies to the bottom there as well. And again, these are what we term as the grid pattern or the sterling Cisele, depending where you are, who you're taught to, etc. As it obviously says on both of these, let's show you the imprint to the pen here. Again, it says Parker. To the right there you've got sterling silver, then we've got made in USA, and once again we've got the halo and arrow clip, sorry, the arrow logo to the right there as well. Both of these are in absolutely superb, well, in my opinion, they're in mint condition. As you'll see in a moment, the fountain pen has never been used, the ballpoint is in full working order. As I said, the pen has never been inked. I date these particular pens from around about 1960s. The size of the fountain pen from the top of the cap to the bottom of the barrel, it's approximately 128 millimeters capped. Around the barrel here, approximately 11 millimeters in diameter. Now, it's got this push on, push off cap like so. So let's give you a couple of twirls of the pen. As I said, I can't tell you enough, in absolutely superb, in mint condition. As I said, as far as I'm concerned, the pen has never been inked. Now, we're dating the pens, as I say, from sort of around about sort of 1960s. This one basically has a few sort of attachments or things that sort of indicate that it may be a newer or the earlier model. Now, if we show you to the top of this section there, well, first of all, this section there, you can see it's got two indents that are sort of have grips on them. Okay, and if we turn it round to the back, the indent there, you'll see, has no grip on it at all. So it makes it quite a comfortable, well, it actually makes it a lovely pen to hold. So what you do, it's actually sort of a triangular shaped. You've got hold of the two grippy sections there, and it is, as I said, very comfortable pen to hold. Now again, trying to date the pen, if you look at this sort of the grip section, on the pen that I've actually shown you already, this gripping section actually goes the full length of the section, but you'll note in this particular case it doesn't. It sort of stops about a quarter of an inch above the barrel there. So to some extent that indicates that it's a slightly later pen, maybe later 1960s. But now if we look to the top of this section there, you see it's got this silver ring, and on this particular occasion you can see it's got the 0. Now the reason for this, it allows you to adjust the nib to your own sort of writing preferences, and the pens with this particular 0 were actually again the earlier models. So although that shows it to be an earlier model, this grip section tells us it's slightly later, so it's a little bit of a mishmash, but I'm going to just simply say that again it's approximately 1960. Now if we show you the nib, again you've got this beautiful, and some of you will recognise this gorgeous Parker 75 nib. Again it's got Parker to the top. To the very left there you'll see it's got 14K or 14 carat, and then just to the right there you'll see we've got USA. So again the pen's made in USA, and obviously the nib obviously matches that. Now if we give you a sideways view there, you can see again this gorgeous nib, and if we turn it over you can see the feed underneath there, again in lovely condition, nice and clean. Yeah, there you go. One thing you'll notice as well, to the back there we've got the number 65, which in this particular case, although in my last video when I showed you the 75 I wasn't quite sure what the number actually means, but obviously I've learned since then. You know, we learn every day obviously, and the 65 indicates that this particular nib is a fine nib. So the number there to the back indicates the size of the nib. There you go, you can see it there. Okay, now if I unscrew the barrel, you'll see inside it's got the correct, whoops a daisy, inside it's got this aerometric type filler, which simply means, for you people that don't know, we just simply press on this bar here, which obviously presses on the sack inside, and obviously when you put the ink or the nib into ink, by pressing this you actually fill the pen. As I said, I don't know if you can actually see, if we can actually show you an indication. In fact, what I'll try and do, if you just bear with me a second, a little bit unprepared, but there we go, we've found it. Maybe if I can show you, shine this light inside. There we go. Okay, maybe you can see that if I just keep it a little bit still. So if we shine that inside, I'm hoping you can see there's actually no indication of any ink inside the pen there. So as far as I'm concerned, this particular pen has never been inked. It's not very clear on the video there, but believe me, when you're actually looking at inside in the loop, with the loop should I say, inside is lovely and clean, and you can still see the factory sort of sealant around inside this section there. So let's screw the pen back, or the barrel back onto the pen, and there we have it. We've got the Parker 75 fountain pen in this beautiful sterling Cisele, or the grid pattern, again depending who you talk to. Now just thinking actually what I'll actually do, because I know you people like to see pens writing, but as I said, this particular one has never been inked, so what I'm going to simply do, we're just going to do a dip it into the ink, and let's do a bit of writing like that. So what we have is a Parker, as we said, we've got a 75, and again because it's an American one, we're going to call it the grid pattern, and we're dating the pen around about, maybe, I don't know, maybe 1964 or circa, should I say circa the 1960s. As you can see, this particular one is writing as it says on the nib. It's writing with a lovely fine line. So that's the fountain pen. So if we just show you the pen, as I said, it's by pressing the cap, it's what they term as cap activated. So again, what we've got is a Parker 75, and this is, as we said, is the ballpoint pen. So if we just show you them, so as you can see, the fountain pen writes in a lovely fine line. The ballpoint, again, in full working order, fitted with a blue refill. So let's take that to one side and let's keep it like that. So as I said, these came to me recently. I've already got one in my collection. I've got a beautiful Parker 75 in the original case. Obviously you can see this also comes with its own case, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and find a new home for this particular one, because, well, it deserves somebody to actually to have it, to collect it, to use it, or whatever. That's why I don't want to fill the pen, because some people do prefer to sort of collect pens and just leave them to look at, and some people do prefer to use them. So I'm not going to fill the pen. I'll let that, well, I'll let the new owner do whatever he wishes with this particular set. But for now, I'm going to leave it at that. Don't be shy, leave a comment below, but all I'll say just for now is bye bye now.